The aim of this video is to identify and understand the main townscape features of Oxford, and to use Gordon Cullen's concepts of townscape to discover whether Oxford has a sense of place. The route begins at Merton Street, passing Oxford's examination schools and Merton College, continuing through to King Edward Street and then entering the busy High Street. Once on the High Street, we will pass the Covered Market and continue up to Carfax Tower. From Carfax, we will turn left down St Aldate's and make a right down Pembroke Street, which is opposite Tom Tower and Christ Church. From Pembroke Street, we will go on to St Ebbe's Street and up past Oxford's Modern Art and onto Bond Square. Finally, we will turn left, joining onto New Road, where Oxford Castle will mark the end of the route. Here at Merton Street, I will identify areas of public and private space, mystery and anticipation, space and infinity, and screen vistas. I will also establish the contrasting components of the buildings and streets. Facing Oxford examination schools, the possession of space is clearly defined through the shape of the building and the tall gates, creating enclosure. The gates suggest that the building is of great importance by the use of bold pillars and steel frames. As the road bends round to the right, it creates a sense of mystery and anticipation, making you want to look further. The cobbled road and narrow paths create a unique sense of place, generating interest as it differs from the rest of the route. The trees along the wall emphasises this and creates enclosure. Continuing on, passing Oxford's oldest college, Merton College, there is an example of space and infinity, creating shock and drama. Further on in the distance, there is a man-made archway dividing the environment into here and there. A screen vista has been created here by the archway, inviting you to look beyond. The deflection here leads you round to the right, where you expect to see something greater. Here at King Edward Street, there is a great contrast in the materials used on both the buildings and streets. This forms different spaces on the ground, and the variation in colours and materials of the building leads your eye onto the skyline. Now, entering onto the High Street, I will identify areas of projection and recession, the links between external and internal space, and the openness and enclosure. Along the High Street, the majority of buildings are 3 or 4 stories high. The projection and recession of these grand vistas is important as it highlights the intricity. The Covered Market is almost hidden within these grand vistas. Its entrance is important as it defines the transition between external and internal links. The change in space is emphasised by the quality of noise in the market, which is much quieter than the busy High Street. There is a sense of anticipation from the narrow walkways, which leads to surprise as the market opens up. At the junction between Queen Street, Cornmarket Street, High Street and St Aldate's, there is a feeling of enclosure created from the direction of the grand vistas at each of the 4 corners, leading to excitement and drama. From St Aldate's in the distance, there is an incident created by Tom Tower, which is slightly screened by a tree. As you get closer, you can see the intricate design inviting you to look closer. Continuing to Bond Square, the area of trees creates natural enclosure within this public square. Here at Oxford Castle, I will look at the unfolding detail and interest created through a closed vista and historical and modern buildings. The entrance path is punctuated by trees leading to a grand vista. Here there is an example of a closed vista which creates interest as it is partially blocked. As you walk through into an open space, it creates excitement and shock as the whole area has opened up. Finally, the steps and restaurant suggest it is a functional space. To conclude, from the route taken, there is evidence of serial vision, suggesting that Oxford has a unique sense of place. Gordon Cullen's concepts of townscape will be useful for designing future projects From this video, I have found that it is important to link buildings and streets in order to create a sense of place.